Well, guys, a few days ago, it finally happened. The long-awaited and very heavily discoursed upon Assassin's Creed Shadows has finally released. And for a little bit of background here, and I'll just go ahead and switch my screen so you can see this, frankly, all bias aside, beautiful shot of the game here. This is the long-awaited Assassin's Creed game. You have to understand that I've played the Assassin's Creed games since AC1 came out, alright? I was playing as Altair, jumping across the rooftops of Damascus, okay? I was there when AC1 came out, and I played the fuck out of that game. I was there when AC2 came out, and played the fuck out of that game. Same for Brotherhood, Revelations, AC3, AC4 Black Flag, AC Rogue, AC Unity, but then Unity kind of knocked me off the series for a little while. Anyone who was there when Unity first launched knows why. It was a rough release, though I heard it's been really well polished since. But since then, I still consider myself an Assassin's Creed fan, though I've fallen off the series a little bit. There's quite a few modern games I haven't played. I do really like Origins, and I really liked Valhalla. And Odyssey I remember being pretty good too. Those are the modern ones that I have played. But through my entire tenure as an Assassin's Creed fan, although I should say, really, it's starting around, like, I feel like it was AC2, maybe Brotherhood. People started begging and pleading and speculating on the possibility of an Assassin's Creed game that takes place in Japan, with ninjas and samurais and shinobi and just all the cool shit that could come with that. Because what a perfect setting for an Assassin's Creed game. The Assassins are basically like a combination of every, like an exaggerated combo of like ninjas, shinobi, samurai, like all these things. That is basically what Assassins are when you think about it. Like heavily stealth focused, very like attached to this like code of ethics and everything. There's a lot to it that made it so naturally a choice, right? And yet Ubisoft blue-balled us for well over a decade on an Assassin's Creed game that takes place in feudal Japan. And now we've finally gotten it. Now, the reason why I said all of this is because I needed to give you guys some background here. As an AC fan, and most of the lifelong AC fans out there, they have been waiting for this game for a very long time. This is the Assassin's Creed game that they have been waiting for. And now that we finally have it, those fans are getting what they want, and the question is, will it succeed? Because the Chuds, due to the fact that they decided to make Yasuke a playable character, have decided to make this game their main focus of hate, right? You've got horrible misinfo merchants like Grums, who have claimed, among many other lies, this one is by far my favorite. This is a real Grums lie. His source, by the way, an anonymous post on 4chan from someone who says they know someone that works at Ubisoft. I swear to God. Grums claimed the original protagonist for Assassin's Creed Shadows was going to be a Japanese man, like as the samurai character. But then, and mind you, this is what 4chan and Grums claim, but then apparently Ubisoft saw the quote-unquote popularity and profitability of the George Floyd riots, as they say in the post, and decided to redesign their main character to look like George Floyd and made him be Yasuke. Who remembers this conspiracy that they genuinely peddled as true news, as real news? That Yasuke was a cynical corporate move to try to appeal to people who are upset over the murder of George Floyd. And you want to know why they claim this, by the way? Is because of all the memes that they made months before about how they thought that Yasuke looked like George Floyd. And if you don't believe me, oh man, I have to show you some of these posts and memes. They are, I mean, here are a couple of examples of memes that conservatives have made. Here's a Nazi who made a post, like, with another Nazi and Demion replying to it with laughing, crying emoji, shrugging emoji. You can see that, like, the Chuds have been on this talking point for quite some time, and then eventually they turned it from a joking talking point to a real allegation that they were actually levying at Ubisoft about their character design, that they did it intentionally. Now, they've been very shameless. They seem to have, like, what I need you guys to understand is they have a very strong dedication to trying to destroy this game. This game serves as a symbol of wokeness in their mind. And culturally, right now, they have set the stage such that this is the woke game. If it does not go broke, then woke does not equal broke. And this is something they can never admit, like, is true. They can never admit that, like, progressive politics doesn't necessarily mean a project is going to fail, right? But they need to maintain this idea that wokeness destroys a piece of media and makes it bad, and thus any piece of media that's woke, it will fail, right? And if it doesn't fail, they have to come up with excuses for why it didn't. They'll say Ubisoft or Disney or whatever it may be are buying their own tickets to inflate numbers, or buying their own copies to inflate numbers. They'll lie and make up numbers, but it's finally happened. No longer is it an argument about what may or may not happen, whether or not the game will be good, or if Ubisoft is scamming people by making some garbage AAA slop or whatever. The game is finally out, and people are finally able to play it and make up their own minds. So I guess we'll go ahead and watch very quickly. We'll just take a quick look at the launch trailer for AC Shadows. I have not seen this yet, by the way, but I think this will be a pretty good thing for showing off some of the gameplay and the vibe of the game, and to get a look at whether or not it looks good. So let's watch the launch trailer. This released the day the game came out.
Nobukatsu and his men spare no one.
We have ways to banish such darkness.
The parkour is really clean. Second only, I'd say, to Yuki, which had by far the best parkour.
Of the warrior is like a boundless river.
It's very pretty.
That begins as a
That's what you
stream.
expect, though. Video's really loud. Ah, thank you
One
for telling me.
warrior stands upon the battlefield.
Was that a reference to the AC Unity trailer, by the way?
Path of the warrior is like a boundless river.
Okay, no. I thought that was a reference to one of the trailers for AC Unity.
That begins as a stream. One warrior stands upon the battlefield, while another lives in the darkness.
Who remembers when they, like, added a beat to, like, traditional Japanese music for the fight scenes and for the trailers and stuff, and the Chuds said that it was rap music? They called it rap music, and they said they included it because it's part of the wokeification of the game. Who remembers that discourse? How, like, not just white supremacist, but how white and a white supremacist can you be to say adding a beat makes something rap? Like, that's just hilarious, dude. Like, that's a level of, like, I don't even know how to put into words how ridiculous that is. It's embarrassing.
Driven by vengeance,
I have a debt to settle.
bound by blood, we
Apparently the assassins
unstoppable. Adapt
exist in this
to
game. You're not
every
playing as, like,
condition.
proto-assassins. You're full-on a part of the Assassin Brotherhood. And I heard they brought back the AC Brotherhood,
and let your blade
like,
be an
buddy mechanic.
extension of your spirit.
Okay. Alright, that's good shit. I like that environment and that fight.
Remember,
I don't know, guys. It looks pretty
justice
good.
is forged in the shadows.
Yeah, this would be around, like, less than 100 years after Ezio's death. Yeah, so the Assassin's Brotherhood is in a really good spot. What a good place to set this game in timeline-wise, too, because Ezio years is when people were the most fervent for an Assassin's Creed Japan, you know? And so we're not just getting the Japan Assassin's Creed game, we're getting it during the height of the Assassin's Brotherhood, you know, like you've got your boys, you're training up other assassins, you call them in to help you, you're sending them on missions, the Brotherhood is like alive and well. It's a vibe that we haven't had in the series for quite some time. If you and you'd know if you played the more recent games, like it's been a bit since we've had like a proper Assassin's Creed game, for lack of a better term. But the Chuds, they have been molding and they have been coping. The Assassin's Creed account, as a matter of fact, has been ratioing some of these people, and it's been quite funny. So first we have a Grum's tweet showing this article from a, this is one of those, like, right-wing gaming outlets that are, like, all centered around, like, right-wing culture war stuff. That's all Grum shares. Like, these people have their own media environment, so if they want to source a story, they can source some made-up bullshit that's just made for them to post on Twitter. You know, like this article was made for Twitter, right? Assassin's Creed Shadows isn't the hit Ubisoft quote-unquote desperately needs, analyst says. Assassin's Creed Shadows is selling well, but it's reportedly tracking behind AC Valhalla and falls short of 2025 hits like Split Fiction. Now, I'm gonna spoil things a little bit, because I feel that this point needs to be debunked, though we were going to get to it in a bit anyway. The reason why they say AC Shadows is tracking behind AC Valhalla is because AC Valhalla is the most high-selling AC game of all time. AC Valhalla was the biggest financial success of the entire Assassin's Creed franchise for Ubisoft. And so, in the first few days of Assassin's Creed Shadows release, people trying to negatively cover it have to say, well, it's selling well, but it's tracking behind the literally best-selling Assassin's Creed game of all time. And then compares it to a game called Split Fiction. I've never heard of it. Maybe it's really good or sold really well. I don't know. But regardless, the game has released, and it's doing pretty well. Like, even with the social media hate for the game, the amount of posts I see of people rating it positively, talking about their experiences with it and genuinely enjoying it, has been almost overwhelming the amount of hate posts. And of course, we've got another great example. Elon Musk got mad at Hassan Piker for, of all things, saying that Assassin's Creed Shadows was pretty good. So Elon Musk says Hassan is a fraud, presuming, I guess trying to say Hassan's a fake gamer. And I've got a lot of criticisms of Hassan, but Hassan does not, like, play up his gamer identity or try to, like, false claim, like, gamer valor or anything like that. Like, this is not a thing that Hassan does. And this is exactly what Elon Musk does, though, provably. Sellout would be more accurate. Objectively, he is promoting a terrible game just for the money. And then the Assassin's Creed Shadows official account replies, is that what the guy playing your Path of Exile 2 account told you? Harshly ratioing Elon Musk, the owner of this platform and also the shadow president of the country. I don't know, guys. I think there might be a lot of people backing this game. I think there might be a lot of people saying, hey, this game's pretty good. People shit-talking it are full of shit, you know? They're just talking out of their ass. It gets better, though. It gets better. Because in reality, going back to reality, here's an article from PC Gamer. Assassin's Creed Shadows is a hit, and Steam played a significant role in that. 27% of activations were on PC, and it's the second biggest AC launch of all time. Gamers only want one thing, to put an end to the Warring States period and unify Japan beneath the wise consulship of Lord Nobunaga Oda and the Demon King of the Sixth Heaven. Or they might want to kill Oda, actually. I'm not sure. Depends on the game. Either way, Assassin's Creed Shadows is, per data seen by VGC, the second biggest Assassin's Creed launch of all time behind AC Valhalla, and it's in no small part down to PC gamers. Hell yeah, I haven't bought my copy yet. A full 27% of the game's activations happened on our platform of choice, though it's worth bearing in mind that doesn't translate to 27% of sales. Ubi uses the word activations because it presumably encompasses people playing the game via their Ubisoft Plus subscriptions. More intriguingly, the data says that Ubisoft's return to Steam has paid dividends. AC Shadows is the first major Ubisoft game to launch concurrently on Steam in 6 years. Turns out people like that. Steam played a significant role in Shadows' stonking PC performance. So people have actually been... That 27% sounds like not that much, but that is a pretty big percentage. But people were pointing to the fact that AC Shadows had Steam player counts. For those that don't know, Steam just makes player counts for games public, but a lot of platforms don't do that. PlayStation doesn't do it as far as I know. Xbox doesn't do it as far as I know, or at least not in real time. You might have to wait till like a month or two later. But Steam is the only one that displays live player counts. And so on day one, the game had like 30,000 players on Steam, just Steam. And of course, if it is your prerogative to say the game is a financial failure, you're just going to go ahead and say that's all the people playing the game. And that's what they did. A lot of people were out saying the game only has 30,000 active players. And you get people saying, no, that's only people playing on Steam. And then it went up to 40,000. They said only 40,000. It's like, no, it's only on Steam. And then 50. And then apparently it peaked at 64,825 players just on Steam, according to Ride the Rails, and is now around 30,000 again, pretty steadily. But like, that is just Steam numbers, not even like using Uplay, because Uplay is where most people are buying like Ubisoft games too. But then that's also not including people who are buying on consoles, and even those numbers won't include people playing it on Game Pass, and it won't include people who buy the game over time. But regardless, this, I'm not bringing up this point like to defend the game or whatever. I'm bringing it up because it is the fact that these sales and the amount of platforms these games are playable on, because they're so split up and it is so complicated to like really narrow down exactly how many people are playing it or have bought the game, it gives these grifters a lot of leeway to lie and misrepresent and twist numbers. If the only verifiable number people can see is Steam player counts, then people can get away with saying the Steam player counts are all the people playing the game. And mind you, Assassin's Creed is a very console-focused series, so the fact that we're not getting console numbers plays a massive amount into the hand of these grifters, despite the fact that the game is a massive success. They're still trying to claim that it's a financial failure. And I should remind you all, to conservatives, someone experiencing financial failure, or a piece of media or a company experiencing financial failure, is like a karmic justice that you get for being woke, right? Like, they want people who are progressive to be homeless living on the streets. They want like companies that dare to be woke to shut down and have to fire all their employees. They very much see poverty as a punishment. A just punishment, mind you. For one thing, November is just a juicier sales period in general. But more significantly, this was right in the thick of the COVID-19 lockdowns. Oh, so it's talking about now why AC Valhalla was the biggest. Valhalla released right in the thick of COVID-19 lockdowns, when we were all desperate for something to do, and Valhalla's ludicrously huge open world seemed like just the ticket. Given we're all allowed to touch grass again now, Shadows managing to catch up to Ubisoft's Viking Sim seems like nothing to sniff at. Now, whether it's all been enough to pull Ubisoft out of the spiral of cancellations, poor finances, layoffs, and CEO Yves Guillemot jamming his foot all the way in his mouth remains to be seen. But there's no question it's a win for a company that was desperately in need of one. And hey, Shadows deserves it. In our Assassin's Creed Shadows review, PC Gamer's Morgan Park scored the game a healthy 80%, praising it as a stealth action buffet with surprisingly great combat, even if the story is a little rote. Yeah, Assassin's Creed stories are never going to be like... You're never going to be able to give an Assassin's Creed game the kind of points that like The Last of Us or a game like that will get for storytelling. Assassin's Creed games have a serviceable story generally. Like, there's never been a really good Assassin's Creed story, like main story. Even AC3, which I think might be the best one. There are a lot of games with better stories than AC3. Yeah, no one's playing them for the story, but apparently the story is serviceable, so that's good to hear. That's what you hope for from an Assassin's Creed game. Something that gives you a reason to do the gameplay and is good enough, right? I've never really felt too upset about an Assassin's Creed story, besides maybe AC Syndicate. Maybe I just was too young at the time to get the story or something, but I don't remember being super enthralled by the story of Assassin's Creed Syndicate, but it is what it is. But the Chuds, including literally Elon Musk, they're coping. And Assassin's Creed Shadows is selling. So we finally have a conclusion, I hope, to this year-long discourse that we've been going through. The lies from the Chuds like Grums have been incessant, but now, hopefully in a month or two, we'll finally have public sales numbers for the game, and that'll probably be the end of the conversation when that happens, to be honest. I don't think these people, if the game ends up being a massive financial success, they're just not going to talk about the game ever again. It's going to be really funny to see them go from talking about it nonstop to literally never again in the matter of 24 hours. They're really good at that, the right-wing, like, media sphere. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this segment, if it was entertaining, if you found it enjoyable or educational in any way, then please consider supporting my stream and my channel by dropping a like. Every single thumbs up you leave on my content goes a long way to boost it in the algorithm, so more people see it and more people get to find my channel and discover my content, so I really do appreciate it. You can also leave a comment and subscribe to ring the bell icon to turn on all notifications. On my channel if you want YouTube to tell you when I go live or upload new videos in the future. And if you want to support me directly, you can donate, subscribe, gift a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or support me through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, Patreon, or buy some merch through the Streamlabs link down below, if you so please. And don't forget, if you want to see more from me on other platforms like my social medias, they are all linked down below in the description. And especially do not forget to join my fan Discord. It is the main hub of my community and fan base. I announce all my new uploads and streams there, so if YouTube is bugging out, at least you'll know when I'm active online, because Discord will tell you. And I host community events there, like gaming events. I host servers like for Minecraft that you guys can get access to through the Discord, and I host watch party movie nights every Friday. So I hope to see you guys there. That is the #1 hub of my community. But with that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, have a good one.